welcome back. Let's continue, shall we? It seems we are to have an escort to the Lotus stand, a pleasant place to discuss a unpleasant matter, is it not? Yes, of course. 'Tis like that we are the last to arrive. Let us announce ourselves, shall we? Bum, bum, bum. I see blue everywhere. The envoy from Ishgard is arrived. Very good. This way, if you put and the limbs party as well. I had hoped to slip in unnoticed, but I see I was not the only one delayed in my arrival. Greetings, Sir Almeric. Admiral, always a pleasure. And Akira, I trust you are well. 'Tis a day with for reunions. It seems. I believe you are well acquainted with my escort. Lady Akira, I was glad to hear from Riol that the missing silence have now been found. There is much and more I would discuss with you, but let us first attend to the issue at hand, shall we?
I bid you welcome, my friends. As you will by now be aware, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn have come into possession of certain intelligence concerning recent developments in the region of Gyr Abania. It springs, I am assured, from an unimpeachable source. Is that not so, Master Alphino?
Indeed, Elder Seedseer. Our information comes directly from a member of the Resistance's inner circle, and we have no cause to doubt its veracity.
This griffin of theirs is a fool if he thinks he can hold Belsar's wall against the Empire. When the Imperials move to take it back, they will come in force, and the resulting fighting is all but certain to spill over into the Black Shroud.
At the Battle of Cartano, the combined might of 3 grand companies labored to contend with the remnants of but a single Imperial legion. Alone, Gridania would be hard-pressed indeed to hold back the tide, should the Garleans turn their minds from reclamation to invasion.
May I once more convey my nation's deepest regrets for our inaction in the days prior to the calamity. 'Tis a stain upon our ledger that I would fain remove. Elder Seedseer, I do hereby request leave to deploy a defensive force within the borders of Gridania. Ishgard's return to the Alliance shall be honored by more than mere ink upon parchment.
The Doman people, too, would join any effort that weakens our common foe. We are few, but our most seasoned shinobi are at your disposal.
On behalf of my people, I offer you my humble thanks. Gridania welcomes your assistance.
It is time we set our contingency plans in motion. Is the Alliance agreed? Then let us make ready for war. Victory favors the swift, and there is much to be done.
The Council knows that Alamigo will not soon be wrested from the Empire, and its decision to bolster the border's defences seems eminently practical. Why then, brother, do you scowl so?
I agree that they have chosen the wisest course available, indeed the only reasonable one. Yet something feels awry. In making ready for war, is the Alliance not granting the Griffin the very thing he desired? Any attempt to hold the wall is doomed to failure, aye. But I wonder if we have misjudged the prize for which he plays.
Do. That the council was able to reach an accord so swiftly is a heartening development in itself. I only hope my misgivings prove unfounded. Ah, good. You have yet to depart. I fear I had missed you. Sir Elmerk. Master Alphino, a pleasure as always, and Mistress Alize, how wonderful to see you thus recovered. Pardon my intrusion. I had hoped to thank Akira for serving as our escort before our duties called her away. I also wish to thank our Doman ally. Forgive me, my lord. I was but awaiting an opportune moment to join the conversation, and force of habit made me keep to the shadows. No apologies are necessary. Mistress Yugiri, I was most grateful for your interjection when I offered Ishgar's support. My nation's heroic failure to heed the Alliance's plea for aid is a matter of record. Even so, the Alliance leaders were plainly unprepared for my impromptu apology. The resulting air of awkwardness might have lingered longer were it not for your timely offer of cooperation, which allowed the elder Seatsier to accept us both. I very much appreciated the gesture. I only did my duty, Sir Elmerk. The Empire is an enemy to us all, and we are grateful for the opportunity to fight at your side. And full glad are we to have you. Pray convey my regards to the Scions, my friends. We must return to Ishgard. Whatever is wrong with a simple sorry or thank you, must these politics always make a speech out of everything? This is how we adults speak, dear sister. Mayhap the ones who like the sound of their own voice. In any case, our business here is concluded. We should be on our way as well. Will you accompany us to Revenant's Toll, Yugiri? Actually, I think I shall first pay a visit into the East Shroud. I am curious to know how Paplameo and Ida fared in their talks with the Simps, not to mention what has been going on at Bolsar's Wall. I will join you at the Rising Stones anon. Do. Welcome back, Akira. I don't know about you, but I am heartily glad that all of the talking is over. I understand that these council meetings are important, but I do not find it tiresome to have to weigh every word before you speak it. I doubt I will ever feel at home in the realm of politics. That said, people have been known to change, and if my brother is willing to run his own errands, anything is possible. Well, as much as I enjoy the bolster of the toll, I think it's time we headed inside. My brother and the others will not be long. You have returned to the council, but what of Alphino? Did some other matter require his attention? Mine apologies, friends. I trust we have not kept you waiting over long. Greetings, everyone. Oh, Krell, how's Nagao doing? She will be alright, won't she? I don't see why not. She's sleeping at the moment. Tataru is keeping an eye on her, so we'll know soon enough if there's any change in her condition. Her wounds are healing well. With sufficient rest, I am certain she will make a full recovery. Thank goodness for that. Now, mayhap you would share with us the council's decision. Each of the nations Ishgard included has committed to provide military support to Gridania. The Erosion Alliance will soon have a significant force in the Black Shroud, ready to respond to any Imperial act of aggression. You know, I almost wish the council would stop messing around and give the Griffin what he wants. I wouldn't like to be the Imperial caught between the Resistance and the Alliance. Yida, you cannot seriously. One does not lightly go to war with the Garlean Empire. Quite to open hostilities without due consideration would be to invite disaster. If only there were some way to reach the Griffin, some means to convince him to abandon this reckless course. It may not be entirely unfeasible. There is a network of tunnels beneath Belzar Wall, secret passages dug by the Resistance to provide a way out of Alamigo, which may equally serve as a way in. Precisely, if all are in agreement, I would be the one to undertake the necessary negotiations. I am familiar with the route, and the Resistance is familiar with me. About as familiar as they are with me, you mean? Say what you want, I'm coming too. I have some experience in the practice of infiltration. If you would have me, my services are at your disposal. As are mine. It has been far too long since I shared a shadow with a shinobi, and I do not intend to waste the opportunity. 4 is quite sufficient for an infiltration mission. Greater numbers will only serve to increase the risk of detection. Krell and I will direct our energies elsewhere. What of you, Leveliers? I will return to the East Shroud and stand watch over the border should matters take a turn for the worse. 'Twould seem wise to be on hand. Might I prevail upon to accompany me, Akira, Gridania will be safer for your presence, and while it may not seem the most thrilling duty, dear sister, might I ask you that you remain at the Rising Stones to pass on messages and so on? To hold the fort, you mean? Very well. I suppose the task must fall to someone. Safe travels, all of you. If you have any unfinished business in tow, pray attend to it now. I would depart for the Hawthorne Hut without delay. The nearby watchtowers offers an unobstructed view of Balsar's wall, and I should be interested in to speak with the Alliance commanders who have installed themselves at this top. Oops, I didn't want what? Ah, Akira, there you are. Come, Amarizat's spire awaits. The Alliance officers on the platform be able to apprise us of any developments at the wall. Fancy meeting the two of you here. We were about to set forth. Indeed, I was about to say 12 watch over you, but I doubt you have needed the divine protection, even if you are venturing into enemy territory. Don't worry, Alphino. We'll have the griffin by the scruff of the neck before you know it. Do make up your mind, Yida. Nary a moment ago you seemed ready to shake the griffin by the hand rather than the neck. So which is it to be? 'Twould be best to decide before we enter into negotiations. Trust me, Papa Mayo. I'll shake whatever needs shaking. The talking part I leave to you. She can shake me all she wants. What? I think I feel a headache coming on. Let's be on our way, shall we? Some things never change. Well then, shall we make for the spire? Our alliance friends will doubtless have news for us. Is it thundering? Yeah, it's thundering. I thought that the my game was like making weird textures here and there. Welcome, Warrior of Light. I assume you are here to speak with our commanding officers. You will find them on the observation platform. Pray proceed. Greetings, my friends. 'Tis good to see you both well. I was hoping you might turn up. I've dragged half the watch here, see, and the sight of you might help remind them why we bothered. If memory serves, I have not seen many of you since the day of the Grand Melee. Having borne the blunt of your blows, may I say what an honor it is to stand at your side. It is heartening indeed to see the realm's most stalwart defenders thus gathered in common cause. Speaking of which, what news of the wall? From the wall? Bleh. All has been quiet. And then that happened. Report. What? 7 hells. Fighting has broken out on the top of the wall. A full-scale assault. So the Griffin has made his move. Someone has... And what about that supposed to mean? The attackers, they're carrying the Grand Company colors. Impossible. We have no such order. Of course, the wall was never the Griffin's target. It was bait. We have been goaded into deploying our armies nearby, thus lending weight to this deception. If those uniforms were convincing enough to deceive my scouts, the Empire will surely think we've attacked an offensive. This could mean war. Even so, this may yet be no more than a diversion. With the armies of the Alliance occupying the Empire's attention, it would be comparatively easy for the Griffin supporters to slip into Alamigo. He could then incite a rebellion amongst the populace, which the Imperial reserves would be hard-pressed to contain. Eorzea, meanwhile, would be plunged into chaos. Akira, we must make for the wall at once. Just the two of you? Just the two of you? Our company is embarked on a mission to sway the Griffin from his course, and are nearly halfway to his command post by now. They will emerge in the midst of a raging battle, and I do not mean to abandon them to their fate. It will be dangerous, aye, but the confusion may work to our advantage. If we are careful to avoid the skirmishing, it may yet be possible to reach the Griffin. And if we do that... Lady Hilda, might I ask you have an airship ready to bear the Scions to safety? Ha! I don't know who this Lady Hilda is, Marshal, but you can count on me. We must prepare for the Imperial reprisals. May the Navigator guide us through the storm. Forward, comrades! The time has come to drive the Empire from Alamigo and force action upon those who have turned their backs to our suffering for so long. Let this victory be the first step in the liberation of our homeland. Alamigo will be free, no matter the cost. Bzz, bzz, bzz. From what Papameo told me, the trail ahead should lead us into the shadow of the wall. As we have two objectives, I suggest we divide our forces. I shall make straight ways for the tunnels and attempt to intercept our comrades ere they stumble into a bloodbath. While I do so, I must ask you that you scale the wall. Know what I would not propose such a course if there were any other way, but the time for subtlety is past. Take a band of your most trusted companions and cut a path through to the Griffin. Make him see reasons by any means necessary. Once we are free of the tunnels, we will make for your position with all due haste. And if everything proceeds according to plan, Hilda will then swoop in and spirit us all away to safety. I only pray that we have enough time. Alright. One memorable dungeon for me because of one boss and one boss only. Alright, that will conclude this episode of 14. Next episode, we'll conclude Baldur's Wall and a few things in 3.5 Part 1. To then, fare thee well.